John Lee, St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. Let's see, today is February 21st, 2025. And let's see, I don't have a lot of announcements today. Let's see here. As you probably know, if you're a member of STLREIA, the meeting got canceled the other night because of the snow. Um, we were sorry to hear that, but Laura and I are down here where it's 80 something, 85 degrees in the Dominican. So we're not real sorry for you right now. And I know you're not sorry for us. So anyway, no, I'm glad we have this connection here because it's been kind of sketchy services our first day at Port, I guess, in a few days. So anyway, so the meeting got canceled the other day, the main event, but Sandra Fernandez, formerly Sandra Holtmeyer, she will the rehab queen, she will be at the next meeting on March the 18th. And also the concrete expert. I don't have his name in front of me. I don't have my newsletter, but that'll be on the website. But he will be here also for the health clinic, and he'll be telling you what to do and give you some expert tips on your concrete there. Only other announcement, of course, you can always go to STLREIA.com for updates for the RIAs. And we'll be here every Friday, and I'll try to keep you as updated as I can anyway with what I know. But the next announcement I wanted to make is mark your calendars, and I mentioned this before, but mark your calendars for June 17th. We'll have attorney Dale Sweet, who's one of the local experts in St. Louis City and St. Louis County in at the REIA meeting, the main event. It's June 17th. And then on June 20th, which is a Friday, it's a special event. It's really not sponsored by the REIA group, except we kind of, well, I guess we kind of sponsor it, but it's not held by us. But that's with Scott Walterbach. He's bringing the Missouri tax sale seminar to St. Louis area. So you want to mark your calendars for that. That's an all-day event. It's on a Friday, but you get to see some of the collectors from around the state, some of the top attorneys that deal with the tax laws and the tax sales. St. Louis County and St. Louis City is different than the rest of the state, as well as Kansas City is different. And Scott's from the Kansas City area, so these people come from all over the state. And it's just some of the top minds on how to deal with the tax sales and that. As you, if you know me for a little while, I deal with a lot of tax properties, but I've never been to a tax sale. We do things a little bit differently, but it's really good to learn from the experts here and some of the collectors and some of the other government officials, though, also. And it's kind of fun because I know during lunch, Laura and I got to talk with some of the people that I've dealt with over the years I never met in person. So anyway, that's going to be on June 20th. So, and then we're looking at having maybe a bus tour to look at some of the tax properties we're looking at July now. I was going to try to set this up in May because May is the cutoff date in Missouri where you have to pay your taxes if you're coming up to the sale, or you have to pay all of them before August, before the sale actually starts. But I think we're going to wait until July because the actual tax sale with all the counties is in August. So I think that's all I got here. Got Laura over there, and if she's got her connections, we'll let her do her disclaimer, and then we'll open up and let everybody talk. Laura, are you there?
Good morning and welcome, everyone. First, I'd like to do a bit of housekeeping. Feel free to unmute yourself when it's your turn to speak. Please be mindful of everyone else by muting yourself while others are speaking. You're welcome to put any contact information that you want to share into the chat. We meet here to share deals, look for deals and solutions we have and need for our real estate. We are not your financial advisors, attorney, or accountants. We might be your cruise director right now. We do not endorse or recommend any specific solutions or contractors here. You're advised to do your own due diligence to your own satisfaction before you invest. The first Friday of each month is Ask the Attorney with Ms. Catherine Davis. Our meetings are typically recorded, so only share what you want others to know.
There we go. Thank you, Laura. So you're going to be our cruise director. I like that. I need all the help I can get right now because I get lost real easily. Okay, would anybody like to open up today? Anybody got anything you'd like to buy or sell or anything? Are you muted? Are you muted? Oh, I see a few smiling faces up there. Anybody working on anything that they'd like to talk about? Anybody have any questions? Anybody looking for anything? It's a good place to get some referrals, even though we don't recommend anybody. It's a good place. There's been a lot of good connections made here on Fridays, and that's one reason we like to keep it going.
Can you hear me, John?
Yes. Who's this?
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
this is
Bruce.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I need my volume up. I don't know. I was looking for a siding contractor. We've got some old siding on my residence where I live, and my wife wants to put up newer stuff. It's got the old wood siding from like 1974 or whatever, maybe a little later than that. And also, I'm putting in my uh, query for, I guess, just I guess most interior contractor or general contractors. I still haven't found any real good persons. Jim Heiser has given me some good leads here in the past, but I was looking for siding right now. Although it's kind of hard to put on siding in this kind of weather, uh, but supposedly if they're like most good contractors, they're probably backed up for weeks or months anyway. So if anybody's got and this is in South St. Louis County, by the way. So if anybody's got a lead there, uh, I think I've got one or two leads. Well, I've got a list of leads, but I haven't called them. I got one lead from what's it, the wholesale company that Jim mentioned a week or two ago. But the second lead I had worked with before, but in a different vein on concrete, and he was kind of goofy, for lack of a better way of saying it. So I was trying to find, I guess, a couple of good references to go with.
Okay. You still there, Bruce?
Yeah, I'm still here. I just quit talking and there
Oh,
was
okay.
silence. Like,
Okay.
what? What?
I wasn't sure if it was you or me, but I seen people moving, so
Okay,
okay. Okay, so you're needing some siding, and that's for your personal residence in South County area.
right.
Um, yeah, let's see. And do you have some contact information or contact info that you'd like to share?
Oh, my contact information, yeah, it's 314-742-1810, and I'll try to put it in the chat.
Okay, that'd be great. And does anybody would anybody like to offer any kind of referral for Bruce there? Does anybody have anybody they've used for siding? I know that does come up now and then. It's not one of the things you don't do every week on your home, but okay. Well, yeah, we got Bruce will put his contact information in the chat then for us, hopefully. And yeah, there it is right there. So it's 314-742-1810 and Bruce Stotler11 at gmail.com. Thank you, Bruce. So if anybody's got anybody that'd like to send over to Bruce, feel free to do so. Okay. Anybody else got anything there? Is everybody frozen? Is that what it is? Now, we've seen a lot of people from a lot of different parts in the country, and most of them, I think, are frozen today. Even down in Texas, they're cold. Yeah. Bruce says bat remodel too. Is that a bath remodel? Okay. All right. Bath remodel also. So you need some siding and also your bath remodeled. So anybody have anybody they use on bathrooms? Okay. Be sure and jot Bruce's number down. All right. Anybody else got anything they'd like to share with us today? Anybody working on anything? Anybody got anything that they're looking to buy? You know, a lot of people typically are kind of quiet this time of year. I think it's a pretty good time of year before spring hits because once spring gets here, schools start wrapping up. That's when everybody gets serious about selling stuff, and this is a good time to get ahead, a little bit ahead of people to do that. Anybody selling anything? I know we had last few weeks, we had some people selling some stuff. I don't see any of the people on today that were with us the last couple of weeks, but as far as having stuff for sale. No? Okay. Well, anybody got anything at all they'd like to share with us here? See some good smiles you're sharing. Appreciate that. Hey,
John,
Linda?
I
Yeah.
just tried to register for the next meeting on Tuesday, the 18th of March, and it says the website is, or the page is down.
Okay, why don't you send them an email, send to the admin there.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
They should get you in the right spot there. Yeah, I don't set that up and they'll get it to the right
Oh,
people.
okay. All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, and you can check back, of course. You're here a lot on Fridays, Linda, so you can always check back and we'll put a note in Farm
All
2.
right.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks. Mhm. All right. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, John, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Yeah, I just want to say I appreciate the referral to that window company. I haven't got too deep into that yet because I got to size all these windows, these openings. But I will take that information and then pass it to my contractor.
Okay, is the place you're talking about, I don't remember, is it in the St. Louis area or is that the one in Illinois you were looking at?
For my building in Illinois.
Okay, that's right. You could pick them up, you said, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was like Penny Window or
Yeah.
Penny's Window. Yeah.
Yeah, Penny Window. We've had pretty good luck with them. I know somebody said they didn't get back with them in time. I know they're a big company. I've used them for rental properties. We had some city properties that had one in particular, two family was down Baden, and it was in a conservation district, and it had one of those kind of strange little dome windows, half round things going in, and you had to replace the same exact kind. And they made it for me. They were the only ones I could find that got out there and did it. It was fairly reasonable. And then we've used them several times for rental properties for some windows to replace. And then the place we just built out here, 100 miles, out of St. Louis, they wouldn't deliver and they didn't have any contractors that would go that far. But the windows were a great deal as far as that goes. And we just took our trailer down there and picked them up, went there twice, and they custom made the sizes we asked them for. It took, and that was during COVID too, but I think it only took like 6 or 8 weeks, I want to say, something like that. And the contractors didn't have any problems putting them in. They were real happy. Only problem we had is we ordered, we were two windows short. We didn't count right. So I don't know how that happened, but the doors and everything was great that they did. So we've had really good luck with them.
Very cool. Thank you.
Sure. They also did our condo, come to think of it, a couple of years ago. They replaced all the windows and doors there too. And that's St. Charles County. So anyway, yeah. How's that coming along, Ryan? Any progress other than just still?
Um, um, I am still trying to get some numbers from a contractor and on the renovation of the first floor to do the laundromat. What I did do that got done this last week was the poll and had conversations on Facebook about whether the city wants that, right? So people in the city. I don't know if you got this in St. Louis, neighborhoods in St. Louis, but you've got these wonderful Facebook groups and other groups that uh, the build up in this particular town. This town is tiny; it's 700 people, but they have a Facebook group of like 5,000. So people really, you know, there's a really tight community. Very strong families and well connected. And I just asked them, hey, do you think a laundromat would work here in this town? Because there was one that didn't do well, and say if we bring it back, would it work? And like 84% said yes. So those Facebook polls, in this small development, I'm sorry, small towns, if you're trying to get information about whether or not to do something, is probably the best thing you could do. And I'm going through every decision that I could possibly make, putting numbers to them, and then just doing a poll with the community to see if they would want that. So that's
That,
pretty
that's
useful.
a great idea. Yeah.
I highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
Yeah, because that you hit on a lot of good points here, and I know some of the smaller towns and communities they really do stay connected through Facebook and the groups like that. So that's you said
Yeah,
5,000 members.
yeah, 5,000 members in a town of 700 people. So, and what I'm going to one thing I'm going to try to at least put numbers to is, these small towns more than I think other towns. I'm sorry, bigger cities is you build it, they will come, right? Um, and you do anything significant that brings what they already travel for to a far away city, an hour drive. If you miniaturize it and put it in their town, they will go there. I mean, you can really steer the market. And I think normal investing, real estate investing and developing is you try to see an area that's hopping and then you put your money in there, based on what's there. And in small town investing, it seems like you can create that. You can really take get the you be the talk of the town. That's what it comes down to. You are the big news.
Yeah,
And everyone will know what's going on. And that's what I'm trying to put numbers to right now.
yeah, that's such a good point, Ryan, because we've noticed that in the smaller towns when we were building our place back over the last few years. It's so different because everything is word of mouth. They don't really have contracts. It's like we shook hands on the back of the truck and then wrote a check for the deposit. They did it all. Then we got back together and they paid them. And people recommend or don't recommend stuff too. We've had, because we've had several people we've been asked about different things and they'll say, well, he's not the cheapest, but he's the best. And like three or four
Mm.
people would tell us exactly the same thing. It's like, well, that's what we want to hear. We don't really want the cheapest, but we want the best. Like that was
Yeah.
with the electrician, and some of the others are like that too, because it only takes one time to ruin your reputation. In these small communities, everybody knows everybody. So that's probably why the Facebook group that you're talking about works so well and has so many members, because they're going to get friends of friends and family of family, and probably people's moved away over the years. I know some of the little groups I'm in is like that too. People move away, but they stay in touch. They want to see what's going on in the communities. So
Yeah, yeah. And in small towns, that's the one thing you don't do is you don't burn bridges and you try to be supportive of everyone. And I really like my contractor that I've used before. I don't know if for sure use him this again, but I certainly I'm going to give him the first shot. And I think he's reasonable, and he knows he's been there for a long time, been in and out of all kinds of projects and different things in that same area. Hard not to use him.
yeah, that's exactly who you want to use too. Somebody from the area and that does a good job.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Mhm. So very good. Thanks for sharing it with us. I think that's
Mhm.
really important, and I hope everybody pays attention to that because we're talking about smaller communities and smaller towns, but it works the same way in the big cities. Your reputation can one thing will ruin it, and some good acts, even if just kindness. Sometimes it's better just to tell people I'm not the best guy for your job. The one, and maybe refer them on or not, and
Mhm. Mhm.
that'll help your reputation tremendously too.
Right.
So very
And
good.
like you
Thank.
said, did you ask on the Facebook group about the laundry thing, or was it just word of mouth within the town when you were there? Says
No,
you've
the
got,
Yeah, the Facebook is kind of like the best extension of word of mouth, right? Because they do see each other, but they do connect. So, yeah, I think in this particular area, Facebook is real strong. Facebook Marketplace that's like a big place where people go. It used to be Craigslist, but now it's Facebook Marketplace and all these connections on there. For this particular area, it's really strong, and it's like an extension of word of mouth. So people do run each other um, in the town. But I asked a poll on Facebook. They got like a feature, um, post here or put a picture up or do a poll. It's real easy. And I set up the questions and sent it out and got a response. Like 84 people responded, I think, that first night. In a town of 700 people. I mean, crazy. And and some of them moved away, but they know the town really well.
And you're still looking for that mobile laundries setup you talked about
Oh,
before? That
I'm
was really
pricing
neat.
that. Yeah, I haven't presented that to the city yet. I don't think they would care so much. But I am running that against the numbers of just building into the space, you know. Um, and I think I can do it such a way where it's part of my renovation of the bathrooms and the addition of bathrooms in the back corner. And so I just have to have a really good understanding of how many people are going to use this laundry setup. And what other things I can do, like concessions, and I'm not concessions, but vending machines and other things that they would buy that would be very useful for this town um, in this one laundry. So, one half the building would be on the first floor would be laundry, and then that renovation I would pay for the bathrooms in the back, and then let the that development pay for the renovation of everything else. That's kind of the idea right now. So I'm the numbers between that and an $80,000 mobile unit, you know, can I get what I want, you know, stationary inside the building versus having a mobile unit outside? You know, I think it saves some money just doing it inside.
Yeah, it'd probably be easier for resale too, I would think, if it was a permanent thing. Although your mobile laundry mat might be a great thing. You go to all the little towns. I'm here on Thursday. I'm here on Friday. I'm there on Saturday. I mean, you could make
Oh,
that be into your whole thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is interesting, isn't it? Like I think that would work if I had a set of RV parks, you know, and because you'd have to set up a drain, right? I don't think it'd be, it's gray water, so I don't think it'd be too difficult. But you'd have to set it like on my building, my lot next door. I would set up a drain, and I work it out with the city. The city wouldn't care, of course, with a lot of this, but I would work out where the drain is going to be, and then say, hey, I'm going to be here for whatever day, and see if that works. But I think when you think of laundry mat services for any place, you kind of want it to be there all the time, you know? So it wouldn't be something you'd move often. It would be something that you would say, I'm going to, put it here for 6 months while I'm renovating this project just to get some income in the area and see how it works. If it doesn't work, I take the whole system and move it to a place that will work, and then do something more permanent if it works.
Maybe you could connect with a food truck too and kind of double. You're talking about vending at your place. You can connect with somebody to make tacos or hamburgers or something to go with it.
Well, yeah, that's something that certainly is part of the plan. The plan is to give several reasons for the local folks to visit this one location, and like laundry, some vending, um, some I still like my idea of um, climate control storage. Give them several reasons to stop by, and I've talked over this last week for some folks who just want a place to do some online sales, these online stores, people who do drop shipping for Amazon, that kind of thing. People who sell things on eBay, that kind of thing. So a little shipping center, a little place to do photographs of whatever item they're trying to sell. And that's kind of an interest in this town, and then a place to store it in this building while I'm renovating it. I mean, that's another thing I'm looking at. I'm just trying to see where the numbers are at.
Yeah, it sounds good. You got a lot of possibilities there, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Look forward to your progress as it goes along. Yep. let's see, I see Paul asked, he said he came in a little bit late. He asked for about the penny windows. Yeah, I just looked it up. I'm not sure on which telephone number that actually is, and I think I might have given you both of them too, Ryan. I had two in my phone for some reason, but I'll go ahead and repeat those. For anybody maybe watching the replay, it's the numbers I have for penny window is 314-867-4355. And I say R because I'm not sure. One of them might be a direct line to somebody, but it'll get you in there. The other phone number is 314-867-4847. And you ask also about the let's see, the Tuesday event. That's been moved to March 18th because of the snow day. The other last Tuesday they canceled it, and that's going to be at March 18th. That'll be at the Lodge in Perry again, also the new location. So there'll be more coming out about that. And if there's any questions, you can always tune in here on Friday. We have a couple more Fridays, of course. So that's all the things that I have. Anybody else have anything they would like to talk about today? Kind of a quiet group. I guess everybody's kind of waiting for spring. Mad at the
Let's
Puxatawny
talk
football
about
games.
your cruise then.
Well, we're here. We're at the Dominicans, our first day on land here. So
Is that your cabin? And what is that, a suite?
we're actually in a suite. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it or not. We got the biggest balcony I've ever had in a ship here. I don't know if you can see our stuff
Yeah.
here.
What cruise line is that?
Um,
Celebrity.
Celebrity.
Oh,
This is the Smooth Jazz cruise. I
oh,
like smooth jazz, but I've never been on one of the cruises, and the people that are on here, they can't believe it's our first time because everybody keeps coming back over and over and over. And there's already like less than 40 rooms for the next year already. People already booked them all, so which is kind of amazing.
yeah.
But
Sounds fun.
yeah, some great musicians here though. I mean, it's some of the top people that I've, heard of since I was a lot younger. They used to play them on the radio in our office, Like Boney James is the guy that heads it up. He's the main one now since David Sanborn
Hmm.
died a couple of years ago. But it's all top people.
Um,
Okay.
John, I got a question. Have you ever
Mhm.
looked into overseas real estate investing in places like that, or Puerto Rico, or anything like that?
Me
Have you?
personally, no. I know people that do. It's a different. There's a lot. I would just recommend a lot of research and due diligence before you do anything.
Right, right. I think I've heard about the problems, of course. Um, I am have an interest in El Salvador because I spent some time there, and I know I'm really close to a family who is from there, and they moved to Canada since. But I think I am going to try to get a trip down to El Salvador and investigate that, especially since El Salvador is big on the news because they're the first country to go accept Bitcoin as currency, and so there's some exciting things going on right there. I think um, there's I don't know what kind of I don't know what kind of foreign investment they would support, but I think their legal system is changing, and that's really exciting for outside investment.
Yeah, I know a few people that do, and they're successful at it. I've also, know of people that have invested and lost their money in different places. So I mean, once you're out of the country, none of the laws apply. Just like even from state to state. John Heyer was talking in our entity thing the other couple of weeks ago about a lot of people get their LLCs and their companies, corporations set up in Nevada, but when it comes down to it, if you got a lawsuit in Ohio or Missouri or wherever, they don't care about the laws in Nevada. You're here now, and this is what we're dealing with. So I kind of looked at some of that with some of the out of the country stuff. Um, I don't know. We've toyed around. Actually, I say toy around because we did it for many years, but with timeshares for a while, did some of that, and that's a different way. I like that because you could kind of trade and upgrade and do stuff with those. The bad part is you can usually get trips if you shop right for less money than it costs you with your timeshare a lot of times. Not always. So
Yeah,
and
I just hope it improves for our country because it's amazing how so many outsiders invest in this country, but somehow it's difficult for us to invest in other countries. I think there should be like a little
yeah.
level playing field there.
It is different. That's what I say. Just know what you're doing. I have buyers of properties in Missouri from, well, from 48 states and then from 16 countries around the world. And I'm sure a lot of them will never even show up. Some of them do though, you know, but a lot of them just buy them to resell them. And I used to try to figure out why people would buy them, and I just gave up on it. You know, people just like they just like ownership of stuff because there's a lot of people that live in apartments over the years, small apartments. They were paying more money for the apartment per month than they bought a property from me in Missouri for. Some of them back in the, you know, 20 years ago. So, and I would always say, I just kind of baffled. Why would somebody in New York City in this nice apartment be buying a place in Missouri? And it's got to be just pride of ownership. That's the only thing I ever figured out. I think I was trying to overthink it, and I don't care. You know, people want to buy them. That's just good with me. So, but it's kind of interesting. Just check it out. I'd love to hear about it, right? It's just very interesting way to do it. You know, there's groups out there probably that you can network with that do that. I know I'm in a couple of worldwide groups that are pretty good. And I don't know if they, you know, if to get into it, it does cost money to do it. Most people don't want to do that just to rub shoulders with people. I personally like it because you get a lot. I get a lot of value out of it. But you know, and what the nice thing about some of that too, and even groups like this, is you get to meet people that are doing what you want to do, and you can find out also what you don't want to do. I found a lot of things I thought I wanted to do that I'm glad I don't do now. So yeah, good thoughts though, and good conversation about that. It's always good to check it out. I'll keep my eye out because I always do that anyway, and I didn't see anything for sale here. We're not going to go off too far today, but then we're going, I don't know, we're going on a sunken submarine or something tomorrow, down in where are we at? The Turks and Caicos, I think it's called, or something like that. And so I don't know. I'm always looking though, and I'll let you know if I find anything. But El Salvador, I'll keep my eye out for that. And if I talk to anybody from there, which because you meet people all over on these kind of things, we'll find out. I always like to see what's going on in real estate. So, yeah, yeah, but market research, and that makes your trip tax deductible somewhat. So just, but do your own due diligence on your own situation. I know what I can do. Let's see. Bruce, what's this? With inflation worse in other countries, inflation rate is 20% and ours is 5. Even if the assets stay the same, it's like 50. Yeah, I don't know. There, you know, all that stuff, inflation and everything. One thing I've noticed is there's always somebody in every market that needs to sell, and there's always somebody that needs to buy. Those are two things that I always see. What else we got
Hey,
in that?
John.
Yes, Ian.
Yeah. Was Kathy Davis able to come on? I know I was late, I guess, on a couple of those mornings. So was she on at all this month?
Yeah, she was on last week actually, and we got that recording up. Let me see. I'll get a link for you, Ann. Yeah, Kathy
Oh,
was
great. Yeah.
yeah, she's been she was with the judge, I believe, the week before, and he ran over. She was
Yeah, I
traveling the
remember
week
that.
before.
Yes.
She's got a couple more travels coming up, so she's still planning on the first Friday of every month, but we will always leave that option to her. So let me go see if I can find these for you, Ann.
Okay, thank you.
Certainly.
And John, could I, just for clarity,
Yeah.
when Catherine is on, we are allowed to ask questions, or does she just provide update information on different things?
No, no, that's why we say we call it Ask the Attorney with Catherine Davis, Linda, so you can ask
Okay,
any question you want. We like to keep it towards real estate questions because that's what she's the
right,
expert in. But one of the things that's Kathy is very generous at is giving us recommendations and referrals to other attorneys that might be with what might be more of a specialist in what we're looking to do here. Because I know there's been a few times you know, Kathy, I love Kathy. She's great. She's been so
yeah,
helpful over the years. And yeah, absolutely ask your questions. But if she don't know something, she usually knows somebody that does know.
okay, all
John,
right, thank you.
is she licensed also in Illinois?
I is she? I don't, you know, I'm not really sure, Ryan. I don't know. She personally is not, but she's connected with people that are. And so it just depends on where you're at. And I know it's really county to county for attorneys, especially real estate attorneys. You know, one of the things that I learned early on, like with quiet titles and stuff by working with delinquent tax properties is you need to get a local attorney for that area from the county, but really for that specific area. Because in Missouri, things go county to county, and I imagine Illinois is real similar. You have state laws, but when it all comes down to it, it depends on what the judge says that you're in front of. And
Right, right. I
you'll
think my
know.
questions would be more general, where I would just save money with talking to her instead of, asking my own attorney.
Yeah, and one of the things, that's a great point. One of the things that I've noticed over the years too is like, even with Kathy, she's really good about giving you the lease, a sample lease, and then you fill it in and make it your own. With some of the other attorneys, what I've seen is they'll create the lease for you, but then they charge you per hour for creating, where if you'll just take her lease and put in what you want, and she's already got the clauses in there, and then even take it to another attorney, it's a lot less to have them just look at it, review it, and maybe make a recommendation or two rather than to create the whole document. So if you have another thing I've noticed with questions with real estate attorneys in particular, but all of them, be very specific, have all your questions set up, and get right to the point, and don't waste their time. I mean, I notice that with the emails, when I deal with a lot of, a few attorneys here, and I try to keep editing my stuff down to 1 or 2 sentences. Because when I talk like I talk, I have too many in there a lot of times. That's
Yeah, and is it the first Friday or the second Friday that she's normally on?
first,
Okay.
first Friday. That's what that's what we have on our schedule. And unless she's out doing something, which she does sometimes, I mean, and she used to have either Christine or Chris Bosler also come on once in a while, and they pretty much are busy pretty much all the time, because they do cover like I don't know if it's a 5, 6, it might be a seven county area. I'm not exactly 100% positive on that. I'm going to get you both of those links here for Kathy from last week. We've got the full version with everybody with all the networking, and then I did edit Catherine by herself out, so I think I can get both those. All right, anybody else got anything today? Covered a lot of, pretty much actually here. Okay, it looks like they went together, but they should be separate on there. I put the shortened version and the long version in there for you.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome. All right. Anybody else got anything here? Talked about a lot of stuff. We will be here again next Friday, same place, same time. I had a really tough time with the clocks today because we're on Eastern time on the ship, and then Dominican time is another hour ahead. So our time is 2 hours behind, and my clock, which is on my phone, automatically changed when we got here, so all my alarms were off. And I was up for my 7 o'clock meeting at 5:30 this morning. So I don't know if I'm coming or going, but it's all good. All right. Anybody else need anything today? Anything you think of you want to talk about? If not, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for today. We will be here again at 11 o'clock Central Time next week, noon Eastern. So I know we do have a lot of people from Eastern tune in. And then 9 o'clock Pacific Time also. So good to see everybody.
Good to
And
see you and Laura. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Okay.
Enjoy.
Okay, thank you. We'll just go ahead and wrap it up. We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye,
Bye.
John.
Thank
Say
you,
bye.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.